Hi, this is Suzette Allen. This is a new CD that will allow you to put fluffy clouds in any sky. There's lots of times when you take images and you just wish there was some kind of cloud in the sky because it's just plain blue. So let me show you some examples. Here's an image of a couple in Florida, and actually the sky isn't too bad. It's got a cute little boat back there, but adding a little bit of clouds makes a huge difference. There's soft clouds like that, or we can add nice fluffy clouds. I personally think that looks so much better than just plain, and it's super easy to apply it to just the sky and not on the image. Then here's your classic blue plain sky. Those are some nice clouds, or these are very fluffy light clouds. I kind of favor that one. It just goes with that feeling. So these are the kinds of things that you're going to be able to do with your images. So let's show you how easy it is. First of all, let me show you the brushes. I'm going to go to my brush and then go to my brush menu. Now, I've already loaded the brushes. Here's Sky 1, that's the marker for these 5. Sky 2 is the marker for these 5. And Sky 3 is the marker for these. I have designed a custom set of brushes where I have a little marker at the far left column that tells me what brushes these are. Like, these are the retouch brushes, these are the regular brushes, these are the copyright, watercolor, artistic, fun, and then, of course, Sky 1, 2, and 3. There's 15 brushes altogether. Let's take a look at the different brushes that are in that set. So here is 2485, that nice fluffy cloudy sky in the Iowa picture. Then we have 2486, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, that's a very soft sky, 92, 93. Now notice some of these clouds, like say 92, that's just a little speck of clouds out in the middle, and it can be stamped just about anywhere. Where 93, the clouds go all the way to the edges. Therefore, when you put that on an image, you actually have to transform it and stretch it out so that it spans the full width of your image, or it's going to look unrealistic. So here's 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. 98 and 99 are the same image, but 99 is much more dramatic. So let's show you how easy it is to apply these to your images. We're going to start off with an easy one. This is the plain Iowa sky, and we're just going to jazz it up with a few clouds. Now, if it's a simple image like this with an uncomplicated horizon, it's very easy. First thing I'm going to do is go to my brushes and choose my very first sky brush, the 2485. And then before I put that sky on there, I need to make a blank layer. So on the layer palette, I'm going to click on the new layer box and have a blank layer. I'm going to make sure that white is my foreground color. So I've chosen white down here. I'm at 100% opacity, and I'm just going to stamp that sky right there. Now I'm going to go to the Move tool, and I'm going to transform it. I'm going to move it up into the corner and transform it down so it's about like that, and say OK. Now obviously we need to do something about that horizon line because it doesn't blend very nicely with what's there, and this is going to be easy because it's got a little bit of cloud action going here, so we'll just blend the two together. We're going to use a layer mask. So on this layer, on the layer palette, we're going to click on the mask icon at the bottom of the layers palette. We'll click on it once and we should have a white mask. Then we're just going to paint on it. I'm going to use the brush tool, and I'm going to use just a plain 300 pixel, very soft brush. I want to paint with 100% black so that we get rid of that hard edge. And I'm going to make my brush a little bit bigger with my bracket keys, say about 600. I want it pretty big so it has a very soft graduated edge. Now all I need to do is, using the center of the brush, I'm going to paint along that edge, and it's basically erasing that edge. Of course, it's using a mask. It's not truly erasing it. I can bring it back if I need to. And I'm just going along that edge very smoothly. Well, there we have it, a beautiful sky that blends right into the sky that's there. I would say that's a major improvement and a very easy application of a gorgeous sky. So let's try and do one a little bit harder. Let's try this image. Of course, this would be much more difficult to trace around every one of these palm fronds, but this one actually is easy too. I'll show you how. First thing, of course, we're going to make our blank layer in the layer palette so that we can put our sky on it. Then I'm going to choose my sky. I think I'm going to go with category 2 and the 2494. That has some nice fluffy clouds. And then I'm just going to stamp those in the middle. Now with this brush, there's no edges, so I can put it anywhere I want. And I'm going to transform it, Control T or Command T for a Mac. And we'll just transform it to something a little bigger. Of course, I don't have to commit myself on how it's lined up yet. I'll just get it close, and I'll say Enter. Now this one is a lot more complicated to mask out that sky, but here's how to make it simple. On the layer, the first thing you have to do on the layer palette, turn the visibility off on the cloud that you just put on. Then you're going to click over to the Channels tab. Now in the Channels tab, let's look at the channels of this image. We have the red channel, the green channel, and the blue channel. And I'm just viewing them by clicking on the name of the channel. Well, the blue channel is always the one that gives the most contrast with the sky. The sky is pretty white and everything else is fairly dark. We're going to use that channel. What we need to do is duplicate it. So we're going to take that blue channel, drag it down to the new channel box so we have a copy. And then we're going to use curves to make that very contrasty. The shortcut for curves is Control or Command M. We're going to apply the curves right to that channel. And what we're going to do is take this black point and drag it over and make all those gray tones as black can be. Then we'll take our white point and bring it over and make that sky pure white. Somewhere in here we're going to find a happy medium where we've got pure white sky and pure black everywhere else. Now I'll say OK. Now I don't know if you noticed, but in her blue shirt, it showed up white because it kind of matched the sky. So we kind of have to take care of that. We don't want the clouds showing up there. So I'm just going to use a lasso tool, and I'm just going to select those two spots and fill them with black. Edit, fill with black at 100% opacity, and now that part is pure black as well. Now I'll deselect. So now we have our sky isolated in white, and the rest is black. Now how do we make that selection? Well, at the bottom of the channels palette, there's a little dotted circle. That is make a selection. So you click on that, and it makes the selection of everything white. So easy. Now, before we switch back over to the Layers tab, what we have to do is click on RGB so it shows all those channels again. After we've clicked on the RGB to restore the color, we're going to click over to the Layers palette, and then we'll see our background layer, our ants are still marching, and then we can turn the visibility back on for the layer with the clouds. Now, since the marching ants are already marching around the sky, all we have to do is click on the mask icon, and it will automatically mask it for us instantaneously. There's our mask. And there it is, the clouds only show on the sky. Wasn't that easy? Okay, so now you know the trick, but let me show you a couple other little tricks. Let's say you decide now that you kind of wish you could move the sky a little bit. Not a problem. You just go to the Move tool and you move the sky. Ooh, that is a problem. Look at that. Now my cutouts don't work. So let me show you one little catch there. Before you move the sky, what you need to do is unlink the mask because we can't move the mask out of alignment. So here on the layer palette, we have the thumbnail of the clouds and the thumbnail of the mask, and in between is a little link. If you unlink those, then we can move them separately. Now make sure you're in paint mode, not mask mode, because if you're in mask mode, it moves the mask. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure you're in paint mode, so there's a little white box around the actual thumbnail, and then you can move your clouds around to get them exactly the way you want. So I can move them, I can transform them, I can get just the look that I want. There we go. And we'll say OK. So now I can refine my clouds any way I like. In fact, if I want to stretch these down to the horizon just a little bit more, that probably looks better. So you have total flexibility with this method, and it just looks fabulous. Let's try another image.